Hey, and welcome back to Studio 6 for the intermediate build of a cow. It's been a while since I've made an animal, but let's start with the materials list. And here it is, 56 total pieces, which leads to some complexity. As always, you can find that's list on my Twitter feed. Let's move right along with a tiny tile of elm. And once again, this will be based on my 3-unit grid. So we'll space the front hoof out, and then we'll count back 1, 2, 3 spaces and put the back hoof on the 4th. We'll mirror that on the other side. And then we'll get a 1x3 wedge of walnut. And we'll slide those in like so, 4 times for all 4 legs. There will be some variations, but we'll start here. And there we go. And then we're going to take a 1x1 wedge of walnut and put it down on those tiny tiles. I'll close the hoof off. I've had this cow done for about 8 months and it's been clogging up my lab. I finally got around to sharing it with everyone here. Alright, let's move on with another 1x1 wedge. And we're going to put it down and then space it out 1. And then let's grab another 1x1 wedge. And we'll put it right next to that one. And one more time. And we'll start the barrel of the chest. 1x2 wedge. And we're going to space this one just off that middle 1x1 wedge. Like so. And then we'll grab another 1x1 wedge. And we'll finish off the back feet. We'll switch back to 1x2. We're going to angle it up for the hind quarters. These are going to be a little sharper. Do that on both sides. And then we'll add a tiny floor in. And then we're going to follow it up with a tiny floor in the front. And another one. So the front legs and the back legs are slightly different. We're going to mirror the front over here. More tiny floors. There we go. Looks pretty good. And we'll grab another tiny floor. And we're going to stick it back behind the barrel. And then we can take this short, smooth wall, the only one we have, and we can lay it down so that it connects with the back legs just about. And that suddenly fleshed out our cow quite a bit. No pun intended. And we'll fill that in with another 1x2 wedge. And we'll grab one more. Put it up there to extend the neck. And we'll take our post and we'll come in the back side here and line it up with that stopper we have up there. And we'll take another tiny floor, and close it off and give us a nice square back there. One more tiny floor and we can start to build out the head. And that will use up the remaining tiny floors we have. 1, 2, and then the third one will stick out for the snout. Go. Grab a tiny tile of walnut, put it head on, and we're going to extend the head out 2 tiles. Just like that. That'll soften it up a little bit. And then we'll grab a 1x1 wedge, and we can close off these legs. In fact, we should use up most of these. Legs done. And we'll finish up this back leg. The back legs have a much sharper angle to them than the front. There we go. Round that off. And one more. Alright, coming along. Now we'll take this one by one. And we're going to sink it right through those tiles up front. It definitely gives us a softer shape for the mouth. Then one tiny wedge of elm. And two tiny tiles of elm. Bring that snout out some, and then we'll use a 1x1 wedge of walnut. And we're going to angle it so the ear comes out. This is fairly close to the sheep. We'll switch it around there. And then by adding a couple more tiny tiles of elm, it will give those ears some definition. I'm going to change the green. Again, totally optional. Alright, we'll lay that in. Good shape so far. Couple key factors left. We're going to take a 1x1 wedge, slide it in here. Okay, and then a tiny floor. We'll angle in through the front. And then we'll close that off with one more 1x1 wedge. And we now have an udder. Looks good. Wouldn't want to milk her. Then we take this gold tile, and I got lucky and it angled right in. If you get it there or thereabouts, it should be fine. As long as you get it vertical, it should cut into that 1x2 wedge we put. Now we're going to take a regular wire, just line it up at the edge, and then kind of angle back at the base of the neck, kind of as close as you can, and then drag it across the back of the neck, and then down to the side of that tiny tile again. And that's going to give us kind of a number tag, or if you want to flesh it out with 1x1 wedge of gold, you can go for a bell. And then I'm going to bring a blueprint in of a 2x4 wall, and then add a couple large blueprints of large tiles. Do 1 and 2. Now if you look, it should kind of line us up with the center of the tail. Kind of got us centered. That's good. Now we'll grab our neon, any color, doesn't matter, and we'll angle it up and try to center it in the middle of that middle wedge. We'll kind of come up and go with minimal gradations to get a nice curve. Curve it up and around, and then about right here we're going to come up and down and then up again to kind of give it a tuft. And when you look at it head on, it's going to be all jangly and messy, but you know what? Cow tails are too. So let's go ahead and get rid of this blueprint. And there we are, the cow. Long time coming, and here it is. Thank you so much for coming today. We'll see you again next time. Thanks so much.